49ers. So, they're in training camp right now. And I just keep thinking back a year or two.
Yeah.
They've had some tumultuous off seasons. And I am a believer that, what happens now does matter as the season approaches and then into the season. And they're having another bad camp. They got an array of injuries, and now they've got the Kyle Shanahan thing that, to me, is almost two issues. One is his physical health, which we've got to worry about. And then the second thing is, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah,
I'll just keep talking.
Go ahead.
And then the other thing is how Shanahan is going to deal with maybe the distraction of what's going on. I'll just say this. I'm not sure this thing is over.
That's interesting.
With a car accident. I'm just not. And obviously it's not over because Kyle Shanahan is not 100%.
Right.
But I just don't think it's over. I think
that's interesting.
I'm not going to make any.
Yeah.
I just don't. I think.
You feel like there's another domino to fall.
I really do.
That is wow. I'll just say wow to that, and I'll say what we know, and I'll go with what's in my heart. Thank God he's okay, because that was more of a horrific accident than I thought, in the real time. But the bottom line is, I likened it to, and it's not the same, but I'm talking about the reaction when Jordan Poole and Draymond Green, we heard they got into it, nothing to see here. And then the video dropped and everything stopped and changed, right? Because it was dramatic. It was like, whoa, we're seeing it with our eyes. But, by all accounts, Steiny, he got in the accident. He said he was at fault. So I'm going from that unless you just want to see a car crash or an accident, what more could there be to where this could sidetrack the Niners? Now, as far as a physical standpoint and his availability or their lack of, I am concerned. We talked about it yesterday. I am concerned that he's so damn good and means so much to, obviously, the game day prep, him being on the sideline. That, to me, right now, is the one thing that, man, he must be there week one when they take on the Rams. But it's interesting you say that because it's out there. But I guess, Donnie, do you kind of know what you're looking for when you say it's not over?
There's still, so they're just unanswered questions. Why the 11-day wait? Why was it not? I just cannot believe in this day and age of camera phones and
TMZ.
videos and everything like that. He went to a hospital. Hospital employees must have seen him and probably known who he was. The cops probably had to identify him at the scene. Like, it's just a little bit strange, and I'm not sure it's over at this point because why was the initial police report wrong?
Well,
that and then he felt the need to correct it, which yes, that's very admirable, I guess. But, why did Adam Schefter drop the story in detail like 3 minutes after the 49ers announced that he'd been in an accident? Like, people knew.
Yeah.
And Schefter's got a relationship with the Shanahans, and that was probably part of that.
There was definitely grace involved. And that tells me, Kyle, I'm not going cover-up, Stoney, because I don't think right now there's anything to cover up. But I won't run from the fact that when you got it out for a person or somebody and you can throw them under the bus, no pun intended, people do that. I look at Kyle and whatever went on that he was dealt with grace. And that comes, you know what I mean? So a lot of people liked him. I'm not saying right or wrong. I can't judge. But I just know there was grace involved.
What does that mean?
And how this was handled and how people suppressed the story that
so
knew.
I got a question just real quick.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just...
What about Tony Romo? Why do I get to see everything about Tony Romo and what happened with him?
Because that was definitive drinking and driving.
Okay, well, this is a definitive accidit.
You're right. Yeah.
Where's the police footage? The body cam.
Palo Alto police said they got it and they won't release it.
Okay.
Anyway, you're not by yourself.
No, I'm just saying I don't think it's over. I do. I don't.
Yeah.
And I also don't. I also think that I feel like something's weighing on Kyle, too.
Wow, man. Because he did call the reporters in the office. You heard about that, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, after we thought it was the other party or the young lady's fault, Kyle took ownership and got emotional. So, to that point, you could say, well, why did that happen? But you kind of just hit me in the cardiac saying it's weighing on him.
Well, I said it, I think.
Okay,
or it
no,
appears.
I got you. Now, you mentioned the word over, and I may catch hell for this, and I'm going through some stuff in life. We all do right now. So, Steiny, I'm going to put my best foot forward, and I need you real quick to tell me if you think I'm barking up the wrong tree, okay? You mentioned the word over. Kyle Shanahan just had his life, what I believe, flash before his eyes in an accident with another party that what we know could have been worse, and that party's not hurt. Okay, that happened. What I do know happened with the Golden State Warriors is Draymond Green just knocked the hell out of a teammate, and they moved on. They reconciled as best they could to salvage the season, made the playoffs, and they got past it as best they could. I bring that up because I'm looking at this injury list. I'm looking at Kyle's mindset because it's happened to me in life where you see your life flash before your eyes and you take a step two back. And I say all that, partner, to say is looking at this litany of injuries at the wide receiver position, Pearsall out. Do you think two parties, one being the Niners and one being Brandon Aiyuk, you get in a room, apologies, you talk, and do you say things have changed, I'm viewing things different, and the two parties could somehow, as crazy as it sounds, I've been thinking about this, get it rectified to where they could fix it and he could come back and be on the team?
I think, believe it or not, I think the 49ers would be open to that. But I'm not convinced.
You're going to call me crazy.
No, but it's a two-way street. And even if the 49ers are open to it, it doesn't seem like Brandon Aiyuk wants anything to do with the Niners. Now, how long could he play this game? I don't know. He's been playing it for a while already. It seems to me that the one thing he's hell-bent on is not playing for the San Francisco 49ers. Could he have a change of heart? Yeah, I guess he could if he really misses the game and wants to play. I could be wrong. Maybe the 49ers have no interest in it. But no, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility.
After Kyle had this happen to him and,
Wait a minute. Nothing happened to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan happened to somebody else.
I got you. Right. He said he was at fault looking for his phone. But the point is, it could have been a lot worse. And sometimes in life, when things happen like that, Steiny, you look at things differently. I think Brandon Aiyuk, I can't speak for him. Yeah, has he looked bad? Yeah. And the worst part of what I think he's done is when Kyle got in this accident, he kind of, what I deem, was making fun of it on Twitter, and that might be the thing that sealed the whole fate. But I think he did the wrong math, thought he would be released and be able to latch on to another team. So I'm wondering if there was a phone call. Who was my favorite movie, The Wolf in Pulp Fiction, where he fixes everything, right? Could he get this Niner, Aiyuk in the Niner brass, have a conversation and somehow, mend this? It's just a thought I had, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they are banged up.
I'm also wondering, the funny thing is this has been going on with Aiyuk for months and months with the videos. And we haven't spent a lot of time on the videos. We'll chuckle at them every for a minute or two, and then we move on. But I do wonder, just a 49er sense, after all the water under the bridge, after it all, and now seeing where the Niners are at, Pearsall, Evans with a quad, Kirk's hurt, would 49er fans be okay with Brandon Aiyuk being on this team if the 49ers and him can come to some kind of reconciliation? Personally, I think it's already gone too far. Okay. I think the likelihood of that is extremely low. And the biggest reason it's extremely low is because Aiyuk does not want to play for the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't think that's changed. Now, could it change? Yeah, it could change. Just kind of asking some questions about this.
Life is a trip, man.
This training camp and what's been going on. And how the 49ers are kind of enduring a bunch of stuff again like they always have. You know, would you rather have contract issues in the offseason or would you rather have injury issues in the offseason?
Mine is the paperwork.
I should say training camp.
Contract for me.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll see what happens. But, you know, the other thing about I just feel like there's a little bit of a cloud over Shanahan right now.
That's interesting,
and
man.
It's the stakes aren't quite the same, but it's got a little Vrabel feel to it in terms of it just might not be. Man. I don't know. We'll see.